I used to be a big sucker of what's known as the sunk cost fallacy. You get so involved with investing time, money, energy, any other resource into an activity, and it feels like you have to get you have to finish the project in order to get whatever perceived return you hope to get out of it, right? So a common one is that I'll get so involved in a relationship and feel like there's no way out, even if it becomes very abusive or isn't the right material for me. I've gotten so involved at various jobs that I'll see a better job, and I have a hard time making the leap, especially if I invested a lot of time into workplace chemistry, because that's a tough one for me. And as soon as I invest a lot into the interpersonal relationships there, I don't want to throw that away, even if the job no longer makes sense, even if I could be making more money. It's a very tough investment for me, the interpersonal relationships. Actually, I got to confess, I'm in kind of that boat right now. It's a pandemic situation right now that I'm still in, so maybe it's not the end of the world that I'm not willing to throw that away, but I need to be aware of it when other options open up. Another place I used to do this with is with maintaining various toys that I've had, right? Like bicycles, cars, computers, other stuff, right? If I put a lot of, even if I don't spend a lot of money, if I put a lot of headache into something, right? The fact that, oh my God, this breaks down in my car, that breaks down in my car, my bicycle breaks down when I'm like halfway around the world. Well, not halfway around the world, but you get the idea, right? I have a hard time with letting it go. Even if I haven't spent a whole lot of money, just the headache that I have to live with, right? Especially with my computer. I'm pretty well versed with fixing my computer, but the headache of having my computer crash in the middle of a meeting, and then I just don't want to let it go. But during the pandemic, I've been doing a whole lot better with the sunk cost fallacy because I've been writing a lot of computer games, and during the pandemic, my game writing has become just one giant sunk cost factory, right? Lots of half games that don't play at all, right? And so let's take a look at what I've written so far. Abalone, that's a variation of checkers. It comes from, if I'm not mistaken, Canada. The Game of the Amazons is also a variation of checkers. You're trying to run your opponent out of moves. Attacks is a two-player game in which infection blobs are moving across the board, and you're trying to flip over as many of your opponent's pieces as possible. Right now, as we speak, I'm programming Ticket to Ride, which is why I was watching a video about it. I think everybody knows backgammon. I think everybody knows Battleship, and there's a surprising amount of strategy in how to pick positions to attack that maximize the probability of hitting something. There's a three-dimensional chess in there, Connect 4, Connect 5. Domineering is where you place dominoes on the board and see who can place the last one. Dots and boxes. That's a Chinese card game. I wrote a neural network, but it didn't really play very well. Einstein is a 5x5 kind of backgammon-like board game that one of my opponents from the Computer Olympiad designed. I think I did okay with that game. I've never won a medal in that, though. I tend to get very unlucky because it's like backgammon. It has dice involved. Okay, so why am I talking about this? Because a lot of these games ended up being sunk cost, but when I look back at it, they weren't. I learned a lot of techniques from it, and even if they didn't work out, now I know they don't work out. Now, why do I say that? Now, the next time you run into a situation that doesn't work, like you date a girl and you spend a lot of time and effort into it, or you're at a dead-end job and you feel like you've invested so many years of your life, I want you to think of that not as a sunk cost, but as a learning experience, right? So you can walk away from that and use it toward your next investment, right? When you can think of it that way, it'll be a lot easier to walk away from these sinkholes, if you will, of your energy, right? Thanks for watching.